Hello, welcome to another talk on money, business, and investing. My name is Jose. I'm the founder of the company and brand here at Master Investor. Ensure to subscribe and follow us on all other social media platforms. Turn on the notifications so that you know when we go live with another valuable talk on money that can literally change our financial life forever as long as we apply the information. I don't get tired enough to say this over and over again because it's truly amazing how many people just consume data and they don't do anything with it. And knowledge doesn't come just by consuming data. That's just information. It can be somebody else's knowledge that we're reading or listening to. But in order for that knowledge to be our knowledge, we have to put it into practice in our lives. So make sure that we have a plan of action every single day towards our financial goals. A lot of people spend time at their jobs day and night when in reality, that's not how we build wealth. Okay. Wealth is not about just having a lot of money. Today's topic is going to be on the difference between rich and wealthy. There's a big difference between being rich and wealthy. Ultimately, our goal is to become wealthy. So figure out our wealth number. We will figure out that wealth number today. Summary. Most individuals are unaware of the distinction between rich and wealthy. We can tell if we are affluent or not by looking at our wealth number. Our retirement may be made or broken by a route to wealth. Understanding how to build wealth is an unfair advantage because when people talk about money, all they can relate to is having a job. What is going to be their next high-paying job? And that really makes a less chance for that person to become wealthy, to become financially free and totally stress-free about money. So one thing is having a lot of money and another thing is having a lot of money with a lot of freedom and being stress-free because we have assets that are producing passive income. The key is to invest for passive income, or also known as positive cash flow. Today, we're going to figure out what is our wealth number and how to improve that. By the end of this video, you will be able to understand what is the formula and what it takes for us to get to the next level of wealth. The distinction between wealth and rich. People sometimes confuse being wealthy and being rich, believing that they are interchangeable terms. Let's learn today the distinction between wealth and rich. A lot of people mistakenly believe that having money and being wealthy are synonymous. However, there is a distinction between the two. The wealthy don't worry about money, while the rich have a lot of it. And they worry about expenses because they haven't yet figured out how to escape the rat race. What we are saying is that although having a lot of money does not guarantee that we won't have many expenses that keep us up at night. This could include costs for credit cards, private school, tuition, mortgages, auto payments, and more. To put it briefly, rich people, high-paying employees, and self-employed frequently attempt to stay in the rat race because they have to continue to pay for the lifestyle that they want to have. The purpose of our community here, our Master Investors, is to assist anyone escape the terrible world that is referred as the rat race. Rich people typically have high-paying jobs that require daily commuting in order to pay for their rat race. It is likely that they also worry about losing their job or being laid off. Having money relieves us of these concerns. Why? What makes a difference? The majority of people are unaware of what it takes to be truly affluent or wealthy. Actually, a lot of people mistake being wealthy for being rich, meaning that being wealthy means having, or being rich, having a lot of money to spend, but not truly being financially independent, right? So a person can have a lot of money, but they don't have freedom. I always say that, right? It's not just the money, but it's the freedom. It goes with the freedom, wealth. If it's not with freedom, if it doesn't provide us freedom, then that's something that maybe we don't want to do because it's not giving us what we want. We want total freedom. What constitutes wealth? The term wealth can be defined in a myriad of ways. Wealth is a person's ability to thrive X number of days forward without working for earned income to sustain the ideal lifestyle. This correlates to the following question in terms of money. How many days could we subsist if we stopped working for earned income today? With the money we have, how long could we last? Most people don't have enough assets or resources to last more than a few months. So these are tough questions for people to ask. It might only be a few weeks for some. However, those who are truly wealthy and those who have attained financial freedom, we can simply see proof that we have assets that generate positive cash flow, or also known as passive income, on a monthly basis that often exceeds our living expenses by a large margin. And it also could pay us every single day. As long as we have different businesses that we're controlling, different investments, they could be paying us every single day. Our passive income and sometimes capital gains income. Those are the two types of income that can come from investing. And there are 5 different asset classes that exist, and we should all invest in them as we move forward building our wealth. That's how we protect ourselves from down economy and hedge for inflation. The 5 asset classes that exist today: number 1, business; number 2, real estate; number 3, crypto; number 4, paper assets; number 5, commodities. They all require financial education. Everything that we do here inside of our community at Master Investor is to improve our financial IQ regarding those asset classes that exist today. And it's all about investing every day. Okay, it's all about moving our money into cash flow and assets. That's how we protect the money's value. That's how money maintains its value. Which, if we park it, if we put money under the mattress, it goes back to its intrinsic value, which is 0. We don't want to ever save money unless we have a plan for that money to be put to work very soon. But we should always have a plan for every dollar that we have. It should always move. We shouldn't keep it safe somewhere unless it has a plan to go into a bigger investment and we just accumulating the right amount to go ahead and put it to work. Okay, but make sure that we have a plan for every single dollar that we ever touch so that it can make more money. And of course, some dollars will go into liabilities, right? Because that is our reward. We can get liabilities because we have assets that pays for those liabilities, right? That pay every single month for those liabilities. We're not paying for it with our money. The business is paying it. Even though we control that and that is our cash flow, it's the business money. Okay? Those who are financially free can opt to never work a day in our lives. Our cash flow from our assets is sufficient to pay our bills and wants. And that sums up wealth in its purest form. To determine how much money we need to be financially free, use time rather than money. Wealth is measured in time and rich is measured in money. The majority of people prioritize becoming rich over obtaining true wealth. It is preferable to quantify our wealth in terms of time, or what we refer to as the wealth number, as opposed to monetary values. The dual inquiry to ascertain our wealth number. There are 2 key components to answering the question. If we, or you and your partner or spouse, stop working today, how long could we survive financially? In order to determine our wealth number, number 1, should a person cease to work now, it implies that we will not longer be receiving a paycheck. We're no longer able to work for a company or job, thus there's not earned income flowing in from those sources for whatever reason. Number 2, how much longer could we make ends meet? We are talking about surviving at our existing level of living, not about selling our car and taking the bus, selling our house, cutting back on eating out, or anything else. How long would our money right now that we have last, considering the amount we currently spend? The road to financial success, figuring out our wealth number. How does one go about becoming wealthy? This is how our wealth number is defined. Term definitions. For the purpose of determining our wealth number, our money can include everything that can be turned into cash right now, such as savings, CD retirements, accounts, liquid stocks we could sell today. Crypto, the same thing that we can sell today, or we can utilize as currency, because today crypto is not just an asset and an asset class. is also a currency. Okay, so it's like the US dollar is a form of money that we can use to pay each other and to pay other businesses. In actual gold and silver that we own, it excludes things like selling our second car, furnishings, jewelry, and other items that might reduce our existing quality of living. It does not, it does contain dividend income or cash flow or passive income, as well as revenue from real estate rentals and other investments that generate income on their own. So we have to add all the money that we have, not by selling things that we have, but the money that we have available right now. And of course, plus the cash flow that we get in from our businesses if we have one, right? So how long, this is how we're going to figure out our wealth number. Finding out what our monthly expenses are will also be necessary. Note, it is simple to deceive ourselves about how much we truly spend each month on expenses. So get our credit card and bank statements and compare the average prices of all of our purchases for the previous 3 months. Make sure to account for all of our expenses because the goal is to increase our income to support the lifestyle we choose, not to live below it. Here at Master Investor, we pride ourselves of living above our means mindset rather than shrinking when attempting to build wealth. However, perform this formula or computation once more, even if we have already completed it for ourselves. Why? Our finances are dynamic, meaning they are always evolving. One might think of a response that is comparable, or we might be taken aback by what we discover. Perform the calculations. We can calculate our wealth by dividing our total amount of money available by our total monthly expenses when we know our total monthly expenses and our total amount of money available. This is a question. Our wealth number is equal to our monthly expenses divided by our available funds. Our wealth figure or number can be found by doing the arithmetic and dividing our available funds by our monthly expenses. What is meant by that, the unit of measurement for our wealth number is time. In this example, months. For instance, we would divide 25,000 by 5,000 or 5 if our entire monthly costs or expenses were 5,000 and our total available funds that we have right now is 25,000. Our wealth number is this. It implies that without working, a person might get by on the money he or she now has for 5 months. So the wealth number is 5 for the individual that has $25,000 and his or her monthly expenses are at 5,000. It implies that without working, they can survive for 5 months. They can thrive with the lifestyle that they have. Therefore, 24 months is what it signifies is if our wealth number is 24. 6 months is what we get if our number is 6. This calculator will therefore provide the precise number of months we might live or thrive if the person quits their job today or if they and their partner did. So what is our wealth number then? Start figuring it out because that is how we're going to understand where we are financially today. Embracing reality. This calculation is the present for most people. It puts our money and us face to face. It is the clearest and most accurate representation of our current financial situation. Many people have a wealth number of 3 or lower. This implies that they could only last 3 months or fewer without receiving a paycheck or without working. They essentially exist from paycheck to paycheck. Some have negative numbers, meaning they are actually spending more money each month than they are making. Honestly, it makes no difference what our number is. Just like that, it is our number. We don't have to worry about it all the time or try to make it right or wrong. That's just the way things are. Clearly, it is their reality. We just need to confront it and improve our assets column. We now possess the knowledge that the majority of people would never bother to learn. Most importantly, now that we are aware, we may act to alter and improve it if we choose to become free. Recognizing the 2 approaches to retirement. Now, Make sure our retirement plans take into account our wealth number. Retirement can be thought of in two ways: the conventional method and the master investors approach. After it comes to financial philosophies and methods, master investors approach differs from others in the industry, and the majority of financial planners, specialists, fake financial teachers, spokespeople, and journalists anticipate two things happening after they retire. Number one, due to the absence of a job and increased medical costs as they become older. And two, the employee or self-employed standard of living will be lower in retirement than it was while they were actively working. They will have a set amount of money to live on that pays them a little interest. These presumptions are not part of Master Investors' ideology. Rather, we presume, number one, every month we receive passive income that either matches or surpasses our living expenses forever. Number two, put another way, once we retire or stop working, we never have to worry about running out of money, and our level of living either stays the same or often rises. We compute the wealth number for this reason, to help all of us figure out how to reach financial freedom and build true wealth. Imagine knowing we are almost out of money when we are 70, 80, 90, or 100 years old. That would be awful. What does wealth mean to us? Look at our finances now. Do we have a lot of money? If the number in front of us makes us unpleasant or even angry and depressed, that is excellent. Better still if it causes anxiety regarding future retirement. That simply indicates that action must be taken. To understand how to create long-term cash flow streams, think about signing up for a free educational program here at Master Investor. We have 3 ebooks right now with digital courses: the 10 new rules of money, how to build cash flow with the internet, turn passive income on, and how to invest in crypto to build wealth, understanding Bitcoin and blockchain. Each digital course comes with additional assets. As we move forward, we add in more assets. When we get in today, whatever course we opt in for, we will always be grandfathered in for any other additional asset that we add into that course. You will always have access to that at no additional cost forever. So in a year, 2, 3 years from now, that digital course will be worth a lot more due to the fact that we add in more assets, such as exclusive interviews with wealthy entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs, and anyone that can provide more value into the volume. And also tools, resources, artificial intelligence, and other assets that will ultimately help us build our passive income and capital gains income. Being alive, we may also look into some free tools that might help us become more financially literate. It is never too late to start implementing improvements for our financial future. So click the link in the description. You'll find a lot of tools that we have put in our description here on our live stream. So make sure you grab those, check it out, go to our website, and subscribe to the newsletter as well. In case we can't come to the live stream, we at least can read it via email before going to bed or waking up in the morning, or even during the day on a break or whatever. Whenever we have a chance to invest in our financial education, which is every day that we truly want to become wealthy, I imagine that we are putting time to learn about financial education every day. So in that time, let's read an article that will help us improve our financial IQ. So make sure you go to our website, subscribe to the newsletter, and go get our courses. You can also get them on Amazon, but it doesn't come with additional assets on Amazon. You just get the ebook or the paperback. However, by going to our website, you will have additional assets with each ebook. So it's just a better investment. It is never too late. So let's start right now building, because in a year from now, we can look back and we can say, okay, every day I took this steps, and now look what I have. I have this amount of assets that now are producing enough income for me to not worry about paying the bills ever again. Being alive and not mastering money through investing is like a race car driver without a car. When will he or she win a race if there's not car available to win? Never. Therefore, money is like the car. We need to accomplish our dreams and goals in life. So let's put the subject of money as number one in order to master it and have excess of cash flow from sound assets that our companies control. To improve our wealth numbers, simply focus on what the wealthy focus on. The ultra wealthy focuses on acquiring sound assets with companies, then using the surplus of the businesses to invest into acquiring more assets that produce positive cash flow and capital gains income. The secret is in using our surplus, our positive cash flow, and treating it as an expense, as a good expense, as an investment expense. We already have a designation for that surplus to go into another asset that will produce additional cash flow or capital gains income too, because not all assets will bring passive income. Some assets can only bring capital gains income depending on the asset class and the asset itself. Rule number one in our community here at Master Investors that we focus on working to build passive income and make money multiply through sound investing. Once we shift our mindset regarding money and equip ourselves with the right context and content, then we create total freedom. Today, we are living in the best times of history due to the ability to communicate with the entire world at the same time. Take a look at the diagram below to understand rule number one. We focus on the assets column rather than a high-paying job. Invest for passive income or positive cash flow like the wealthy do. Passive income. As we can see on the diagram right here, we have the financial statement, we have the income statement, we have the balance sheet, and the way we focus on our financial statement is by growing our assets column, and we control assets and we are making positive cash flow or passive income from controlling assets even when the economy is doing bad. And of course, capital gains income also is going to be made through controlling assets, but we specifically focus on building passive income, okay? Also, the wealthy ensures that investing in financial education is a priority when it comes to our expenses, regardless of the financial situation we are currently facing. Investing in financial education are expenses that create wealth for us, which means total freedom. As we can see, the diagram shows the poor mindset. 97% of population of the entire world thinks like this. There are two types of mindset in the world when it comes to money. Poor mindset, wealthy mindset. That's it, okay? And it's day and night, right? So there's nothing wrong if you want to have the poor mindset, but if you truly want to become wealthy, then we need to shift that mindset into the wealthy mindset. So let's take a look at the income statement here of the poor mindset. The employee and the self-employed have earned income from a job. Therefore, they pay taxes first and maybe buy assets after, if any. Usually, they buy none. And if they do, they buy fake assets because they lack financial education. So they can't tell really the difference between an asset and a liability. So does it take money to make money? No, it doesn't, because if we have financial education, then we can raise money and we can make money from thin air. We can use other people's money, use debt, and we can actually, without money, literally raise money by selling something, okay? So it does not take money to make money, but with financial education, we can definitely make money, make more money. Because if money could make money alone, then why so many people are saving money in the bank? They would be using that money to make more money, but they don't because they lack financial education. So financial education comes first. So if we look at their expenses, they have as number one, pay taxes because they work for earned income. So automatically taxes are taken out from their income, every single check. Number two, they acquire liabilities because they like to maintain their lifestyle. They like to look rich for other people. They like to impress other people. They like to feel like they're getting ahead in life because they're acquiring more things, material things, and so forth. Number three, and then they focus on acquiring assets, which, like I said, they have no time left and they have no financial education in them. So usually what they end up acquiring is more liabilities that in their eyes is their assets, which they're not because they're not putting any money into their pocket. An asset puts money into our pocket whenever we're not working. Right now, okay, it puts money into our pocket today. Liability takes money away from us every month, every day. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with having liabilities as long as we have assets that will pay for those liabilities expenses. Poor mindset people attempts to buy assets with after-tax dollars. Many times it is not enough to afford any assets after everything is paid, including their expenses from liabilities. Therefore, the assets column is empty. They lack financial education. They do not actively invest themselves. Now take a look at the wealthy mindset and way of operating. Wealthy mindset, 3% of the population. We look at the financial statement right here. Our businesses buy all the assets first and then pay taxes after, if any, because we use a tax code and we're doing what the government wants us to do, and we're using debt. We pay zero in taxes in many instances legally because we are allowed to. Okay, the tax code is a package of incentives for wealthy entrepreneurs and inside investors. So the expenses column look like this. Number one, acquire assets, and of course, invest in financial education. Number two, pay taxes, if any. Like I said, we minimize taxes because we're using the tax strategy. We using business expenses. We document everything. We're not hiding any money. We're showing all the money, but we pay zero in taxes because we're doing exactly what the government wants us to do. People that hide money, they have a problem with a lack of financial education. They need to get financially educated. They need to have the right team in their corner because there's no reason to hide money when we are playing by the new rules of money and using the tax code to our advantage. And number three, we acquire liabilities, right? And we can acquire any type of liability because we just focus on number one, acquire an asset to pay for the liability. Wealthy people buy or acquire assets first before tax dollars and pay zero in taxes in many occasions. Then we acquire liabilities by having the assets pay for the expenses of the liabilities. We can obtain everything for free, all done legally using the tax code and corporate law and to our advantage. Now think about the way we move forward from here so that we act more to the person we wish to become. Everything starts with patterns. Focus on putting more value in our why we do things instead of the money alone. When we have a strong enough why, usually we persevere through the difficult times. Once we start developing our minds with the tools to beat this game of life, which in order to be able to do so, we must master money through business and investing. Building wealth is not about shrinking, cutting expenses, saving money, and living below our means. It is the very opposite of that poor mindset. Building wealth requires spending money, investing, acquiring more expenses, more liabilities, and expending our assets column with real assets that generate passive income and capital gains income for us, to the point that those assets help us reach infinite return on investment. That is when we are receiving money for nothing, literally, the holy grail of investing. The assets have recouped our capital that we invested back initially, and we still collect passive income from the assets, even though we have no money of ours in the businesses or investments. Now we know that wealth is not measured only with money, but also with time. Many people with money in their bank account today, but they are not free. What is our wealth number today? Let's answer that important question daily and improve that number constantly. Start investing in high quality financial education by reading our financial ebooks today. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope that you learn a lot from today's business talk. Give me your feedback. Let me know if you enjoyed today's talk. Give us a thumbs up on the video so that we can reach more audiences around the world. We're growing tremendously. We're here every single day providing the good and bad news of money, the business principles that work in all economies. Our mission here at Master Investor is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity through high-quality financial education. Made simple, we look at opportunities to build passive income and true wealth. It's all about consistency. It's about taking a step forward regarding building wealth, okay? It's an amazing journey. Not many people take the journey of building wealth because it requires time. It requires shifting our mindset, our philosophies. It can be tough internally, mentally can be tough, okay? Because it goes against what 97% of people think is right about money. So majority of people that we will meet will have an opposite mindset of ours. But those who will stick with it will reach a level that no one, 97%, will ever feel or will ever experience of total freedom, okay? So tap into our greatest investor that we have. We all have an investor inside of us. Turn that investor into a master investor by applying the threes, by having the threes, right? Financial education is number one. Number two is financial experience. And number three, excess of cash flow. We cannot be a financial investor if we're not receiving passive income and capital gains income. So let's get to the money quickly the right way. Let's make the money the right way, because how we make our money is what will determine how wealthy we are. Okay, and figure out the wealth number. How many days can we go right now? How many months without working and not having to worry about paying for the bills that we have right now and the standard of living that we want to have? Okay, remember, it's all about expanding and growing. I hope that you learn a lot. Like I said, I'll see you on the next live stream, bringing you everything that can help us create more wealth through our products and services here at Master Investor. Make sure that you join our mission, share the content with the team. It's all about having the right people around us. The 5 people that we hang around with, they hold our future. And a lot of people are hanging around with the wrong people, listening to the wrong people, and just giving their time, the most precious time, to the wrong folks. Make sure that we have OQP, only quality people. We understand how to use debt. We invest using debt. We invest for passive income specifically. We know how to read financial statements. We understand how to look poor on paper as individuals, because we don't run money through our name. Everything's coming from our businesses, entities that we control. And we pay zero on taxes as individuals because we make none as individuals. And our companies pay the least amount in taxes because we're using the tax code. We're using a tax strategy that's catered to minimize taxes all the way to zero and keep as much to ourselves so that we can buy more assets and can have the lifestyle that we like to have. It's all about experiencing life at the highest level, but we need to focus on the 4 pillars of an extraordinary life: health, wealth, love, and happiness. And get out there and network, because every person that we meet could mean that we tap into their network, which other people might recognize who we are. So as long as we bring value to the table, when we speak to somebody, we build rapport, they like us, they know us and trust us, and we're always closing. We have something to offer for them, a solution. Everybody needs something. We're going to add them to our list. We're going to improve our email list every day with real people that are interested in listening to what we have to say, because we provide a value to them and we improve their lives just with few words. Everybody needs a twist in their life, including their businesses. A twist is a breakthrough, and it comes from a twist. It comes from something that we have heard, maybe a sentence that was given to us by a mentor, right? It's a structure in a certain way that it opens up our eyes, and it could be something very small that we were missing the whole time, but we needed that mentor, we needed that twist to come in our lives to get us to the next level financially. I hope that you take action in your dreams. The time is now. We're living in the best times, like I mentioned earlier on our talk, because everything that we have available today is literally the tools that we all possess in front of us to become wealthy. So use them, grab it, claim the money, claim your wealth. What is the lifestyle that we want to have, and start living where you want to be. If you want to be somewhere and that's where the dreams are, don't say, well, you're working towards that. Now get in the mix of whatever environment we want to be. Environment is key. So make sacrifices, right? And move towards the place where we want to be, because we grew up with the sense that it doesn't matter where we are because we're becoming this person, but it does matter. So where we are is where we're going to be tomorrow. So ensure that you are stepping on the right floor, stepping on the right ground, right? Make sure that you're not living somewhere where you don't want to live. And no excuses, not about money or anything, because we're going to expand. It's about living above our means. All right. I'll talk to you on the next live stream. Thank you for having me. Stay extraordinary and wealthy. Bye for now.